Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today's Monday update, we have the new Pirate 2026 stuff. Now, before I start, really quickly, I'm going to put a code up top for you guys so you guys can see it. That is a code for the code redeemer. There is a crate of some sort in it. I can't remember. I did grab it myself as well. And one thing before I start, guys, I am not trying to get people to buy or not buy anything. I am just throwing what is out there in the new stuff here and a new update. But right away, I want to address a serious problem that I've been talking about for a while now in this update. Okay? And they've been doing this for a while now. And I'll put this on the screen so you guys can see the drop rates. I'm not telling you not to buy chests or crates. I'm not telling you to buy crates. But these pirate chests, right, for the new stuff, right, they put in a tiny little super prize. This is 30% or 30,000 doubloons. But these are, and I know people are going to probably go crazy on these, but I am warning you. The commander drops have been halved, and for example, the new ships that are here that we'll talk about here in a second, the tier 7s are a 2% drop, and they used to be a 3% drop out of these chests. I'll put up a thing so you can see from the previous one. They're dropping the rates still on these on these crates, all right? Listen, I get that there's world hunger and other problems in the world, but I am trying to warn you guys of these crates. All right. It's even to the point where I always do a crate video for you guys when new crates come out. I don't know if I'm going to do a crate video on these. All right. Let's get into the entire update though, quick. I wanted to get that out. It's important. I'm not trying to make you not buy or buy them. All right. Nothing in this update. I want to be clear. I'm not trying to sway a thing. I'm not trying to start a riot. I'm trying to inform you, one of the viewers. I am not trying to do anything, but them drop rates are getting way bad. It's really gross. Okay, now that being said, we have some new stuff. We have a new port, a new permanent port, New York. If you look in the background, we have. It's actually a very pretty port, but to be honest, it's never gonna replace the fjords. My Norwegian heritage love the fjord port. New campaign, right? Uh, One issue I do have personally with this update is everything is just reskinned, and it happens with Blücher, or however you pronounce it. You guys aren't here for my pronunciations, obviously. All right, this is a reskinned Hipper or Prince Eugen, whichever one you want to call it. They're all the same. And for anybody that wants to argue, even Warships as it is too. So, the now, because there's always somebody that does. Now, that being said, there are some small differences. Not much, right? In my opinion, it's a little bit more like Eugen. It's got the longer reload. It has the same torps, basically, the 8 kilometer torps. It does have one interesting thing that is kind of cool. I noticed it has sticky shot, right? So you have really good AP angles. So naturally, I'm gonna like this ship because it's an AP cruiser. All right, and you do have the, as you guys can see, quarter pen here. Um, Outside of that, nothing crazy. It's a tier 8 Hipper Eugen. You don't get a reload. You get sonar, heals and a pretty solid engine boost to be quite honest. So that's pretty cool. But outside of that, guys, I mean, it doesn't really have that much more health. I think it's like 2,500 more health than Eugen, maybe 4,000 over Hipper. If you're using the same builds, obviously. So that's that. I talked about the pirate chest. Well, show a little bit here in a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna do a crate video on them, guys. It's now to the point where I've always done a crate video. I'm gonna debate on it. I'm guessing I'm more likely than not we'll still do one because to show you guys how pretty rough they're gonna be. But also we're gonna have asymmetrical brawls. The 5 players versus 12 bots are back here too, and really quick update here. Hector Waller. Uh, oh, I gotta get to. Okay, we gotta go over to legendary ships here really quick. Hector Waller got nerfed here, guys. Let me just sort these out here quick. Let's go by legendary destroyers and Hector Waller. There we go. He did get nerfed. All right, so the repair went from per second went from zero 0.5 to zero 0.3. So now this is the repair heals at the same rate of a single fire. Um, I don't have much opinions on it, so that's one thing really quick. And there is a new post battle screen as well for you guys. I don't know why they changed that. I didn't have a problem with it before, but it is what it is. Uh, so that being said, let's take a look at the stuff here for missions. As you guys see, there is not one right here, but in no bureau. And when we get into here, we will go over to the offers. Make sure you grab your daily crate, right? Kid is on sale. I actually already have a video for him, for the kid. We'll have that out. Pretty solid ship, right? I don't think anybody's saying Kid's a bad ship. Um, it is a pure gunboat, really. You don't have much of torpedoes. They're not much of a range, but it's a solid boat. All right. That's the ship that's on sale, so you guys will see that video this week, obviously. In special, there is, and sorry guys, I am kind of sick, so I'm kind of losing my voice and stuff. So you do get a mission for if you redeem it, you can get a coupon for select Japanese ships in the store. So that may not be, that's obviously probably not all of them. And let's go ahead and claim that. We will take a look at what that coupon is actually for here, and to help you guys out. So it is for Udachi, and so it isn't. Oh wow! So it doesn't include Udachi being on sale. You'll know what I mean here in a second. So these are the normal prices then. So not necessarily the world's greatest coupon. We'll take a look at the mission itself here. It is a personal mission for a red crate. Okay. So not much there. Back to the store here. We go back into offers. Here, not outside of that, not a whole lot. In special, you can see that you cannot apply that coupon to Udachi. I don't know why they have that coupon out. Just buy it if you're going to get it on sale. Or, a lot of these ships are, like Udachi, for example, is an XP ship. Suzuya is an XP ship. Um, Let me see here. Nope, these other two are not. So, yeah, just double checking here, guys, my notes. So, uh, that being said, Suzuki is on sale. I think I have a video on these. I mean, pretty clearly, I have probably 40 videos for you for Udachi, okay? My favorite torpedo boat in the game. I love this stinking ship. All right, so I guarantee you there'll be a Utachi video to showcase it because it's in the shop, right? I tried to show off them. I'm pretty sure I have a Perth video and an Exeter video already for you. Maybe a Suzuki video, but we did that one not too long ago, so maybe not on that one. Um, Again, Udachi Suzuki can get a global XP if you do want to save up for it, but otherwise that. So outside of that, nothing in here. Pirates. All right. These crates, guys, it's only a 0.5% drop on the tier 8 ship. It's a 2% drop, as I showed earlier, on the tier 7s, which is lower than the previous years. They used to be a 3% drop. And the commanders went from being a 10% drop in the old ones to in the new crates, they're going to be a 5% drop. Not ideal. Not ideal, guys. So again, make your decision as you will on your own there. All right. So we do have some new ships. All right. I say new, but everything in this update is reskinned. Um, First of all, we're going to talk about the Flying Dutchman. Everybody's going to like this one. Probably going to see it everywhere. It is it's Neptune. It's an airstrike Neptune. Like we really needed this, and you do keep the radar and the good heal, right? So definitely probably not going to be a weak ship, right? And it is AP only, but with airstrikes. So I'm guessing this is going to be a strong ship, but there's going to be a bunch of people that go broadside in it, so you'll be able to murder it pretty quickly if it gets spotted, right? So um, on the next one, the ship that I have the most interest in that nobody else will care about. This is Vok. This is Brandenburg, but Brandenburg with still relatively solid accurate or secondary bases, so these will get out quite far. I believe these will get out to 12-ish kilometers. Don't quote me on that, but I know 7 is normally 11 with good commanders, so I'm guessing it'll get out to about 12. The main battery guns, this is the difference on here over Brandenburg, right? You actually have some accuracy, which is really cool. So I'm interested in the ship. Not many two people are. It's going to be an accurate Brandenburg, in theory, with really fast torpedoes. So, but again, these are just reskin ships. All of these are. Uh, Storm Lantern here, Pan Asian, but it is a Grom. It's a radar Grom. So you switch it out for radar. You do get the quarter pen HE. The torpedoes are deep water. Um, this is going to be a strong ship, right? They just reskinned stuff and made it a little bit more powerful to entice people. There is nothing wrong with these ships. They're pretty powerful, but they are reskinned, okay? Like, actually, what is. They didn't take any secondaries off of. Let me see. 120 or 150s and 105s. No, they did not. So this is full Brandenburg, but with accuracy and cool torpedoes. And Storm Lantern, again, people are. This is gonna be a very powerful tier 6 destroyer, and I mean very powerful tier 6 destroyer. Yeah, obviously you're not gonna have torpedoes in a fight against other ships, but you have the quarter pen, so in the radar, which is gonna be crazy on the ship. So again, a strong ship, right? To me, it's a Grom with a little like Grom and Chungmu or Chungmu had like a baby, right? You got the radar. So the new commanders, guys, I'm gonna go over these really quickly. All of these commanders are good. I wouldn't say they're game breaking. So Ling Shi, Destroyer Commander. Lantern Light is her base trait. She's a gunboat commander. And it gives you extra torpedo damage with more than 50% health and destroyer shell damage against enemies with less or equal to 50% health. Definitely not a bad base trait, but I don't think it's a game breaking one. But solid. Interesting thing here, she has mortar along with sidestep, which is kind of cool. And her unique skill is Jade Lioness. Destroyer HE damage while torpedoes are reloading. So basically, you just keep dropping torpedoes everywhere. You're going to do 6% more damage. Pretty cool. That is a pretty good trait. However, she does not have twist and track. She only has perceptive. So, kind of an interesting commander. As you guys can see, she's kind of a little bit of a hybrid. I think she's got a couple of the torpedo perks a little bit there. Um, and then for the damage farmers, there's Burn It Down XXL, which is kind of neat. She's interesting commander. I don't. She might be the best, but it's not going to be like crazy amount. All right. I think people may overhype some of these commanders a little bit. Uh, this is Dragon Bojanovic. I don't know how to pronounce any of this. It is a secondary pan-European commander. This would obviously be for um, the Vuk, and also obviously Ling would be for the Storm Lantern, right? His base trait, chances of secondary battery ships causing fire up to a 1.2%. Not amazing, but definitely helpful. Interesting commander a little bit here, because you have flammable cannoneers still here, and with along with Porcupine, which is kind of cool. Uh, also here, um, Double Trouble. You can get Battleship as his unique skill. Battleship main battery reload time while secondary guns are aiming or firing. If you're quite aggressive like me, this might actually be a pretty decent perk. Or you could take Properly Meticulous or Fire with Fire. Or, I mean, Firefighter. And he does have heals. Or a Master Mechanic. So, I mean, solid, right? Because he does have Running with Scissors for them people that do like that. And then also he has the Fight Fire with Fire. So, interesting commander, but again, not game breaking, I don't think, in any way. Because it's not like there's a cajillion pan European, it's not German, right? There's a couple pan Europeans, obviously, Karl Johann and now Vuk, but again, not game breaking. Um, Zadala Groza, obviously the cruiser commander for the new ship. What is that ship called again? Flying Dutchman. Flying Dutchman. And again, her base trait, not bad. Projectile damage to your cruiser 5 seconds after you're hit by with an enemy battery shell or torpedo or main battery gun. So basically, when you're getting hit for 5 seconds, you're going to take up to 10% less damage. Not a bad trait. Uh, she is kind of like a more AP focused one. Her unique skill is Hunter's Dagger, cruiser damage for shells and torpedoes fired or launched while radar is active. 10%. I'll just take Fixated. That's not that great. 10% with a radar. Definitely helpful getting rid of stuff, but remember with your radars, you know, you got to have a ship that has radar for that to be useful. And then also, what is Dutchman's radar? Just out of curiosity, I'm guessing it's in the mid 30s. So, a minute and a half of your entire match, if you use three of them, you're gonna have a 10% reload. So that would essentially be like throughout the entirety of a match, having 2 or 3%. It's not as powerful as it sounds, but again, when you're radaring something, 10% still pretty good. Um, let's go into the shop here. Keep going. Uh, Cornelius V. Wind. This is the another airstrike commander. Airstrike bomb fire setting chance 3%. That's not really that crazy. They already have like a cajillion percent chance of fire already. So the thing I like about him, however, though, is he's more AP focused, in my opinion, right? You have Piercer, Punch Through, and Fixated, which Fixated in third row is kind of cool. He has two unique skills, Albatross Wing Beat and Turn Dive. This one gives you extra bomb damage, and this one gives you airstrike cooldown. So The other thing is one makes the bombs bigger, one makes the bomb area smaller. That's up to you. He does have refill station fully packed, air support. Honestly, there's already strong commanders for the Dutch cruisers, but for my playstyle with the AP, this might be my option. Like again, these commanders all solid, but none of them, in my opinion, are absolutely game breaking. In my opinion, compared to what's already out there, probably Bojanovic if you got Zuck or any of the other. But again, you're putting resources into a guy for not a whole lot of return. Only on a couple ships. Pretty much everybody will get probably Hawk, and it won't make a whole lot of sense. All right. Big Game Hunter is his base trait. Damage. This all sounds really fancy and cool. Damage to battleships, and damage to cruisers from airstrikes, and damage to carriers with airstrikes. Again, not a bad base trait if you're going the hybrid route, right? But is this guy is not much better than Riker, if any. I think Riker is probably the same or better in my opinion. This base trait would be much better if it did something to destroyers, but in my opinion, being a good player that understands destroyers are a key in a match. Uh, this is like for damage hunters. Everybody will love this that likes big damage numbers, but not people that like to win, I guess. Maybe people like to win that, will play it. But anyway, guys, you have a flammable cannoneer. Probably marksmanship is what you're going to use most on this. But again, he's very much Riker, right? Who you got for free with even with Master Mechanic. So basically, there's argument which one base trait you like better between him or Riker. Um, for $20 is Big Game Hunter better than Riker's base trait? I don't think so. That's just me. Not trying to be negative, just stating my opinion. More pirates. The all the other stuff is back, right? So as you guys can see, let's see. There's that one and Capri and La Foundry are back. These were the only ships in the entire game I was essentially from DLCs or anything that I could get missing. I won't be getting them, to be quite honest. Obviously, you guys, these were out before, so I won't go into too much of them. Um, you have La Foundry, the secondary ship, right? Um, it's fun. None of these are bad or anything, in my opinion. They're all solid. The interesting thing though is some commanders are back, and these are the commanders that are pretty solid. Andrew Lip, um, really solid base trait. For like Colbert, light cruisers in general, AP light cruisers, especially British, but there's other ones out there as well. He's a solid commander himself, right? Um, that's a good commander. Marisa Lauco, don't not that great. Um, Kind of a mean build, I guess you can do on some destroyers with her, but yeah. Robin LaFierce now with Charles Blurry. He's not really that great anymore. He's still interesting for people that like to damage farm, but people that like to fight each other. Charles Blurry is a free commander, and he's better, right? He can have fully packed on a destroyer while not, and you can still locate other ships and a reload booster helper. We went through a video showcasing Charles LaFleur or Charles Blurry. Robin LaFleur is still not a bad commander, but definitely not Charles Blurry, and he's not. And Blurry was free, so this is would have been last year me saying, "Oh my gosh, this guy is awesome," and he is good. But if you did the mission to get the free um, Charles Blurry, no reason to get LaFierce. None whatsoever. Michael Latier, still worth getting. If you have Dunkirk, you can build her into secondaries, which is really good, but he has a cool base trait for secondary builds, so I use him as much as I use Dunkirk for the secondary ships, right? Because Dunkirk's also got secondaries, but you get more out of her main guns. It's interesting. Very, he's a solid commander. Nothing crazy. If you have Dunkirk, he might not be worth it. If you don't have Dunkirk, he's probably going to be worth it. Davis here for the destroyers. Again, this is a commander that people like more than I do. I just I don't really see much in it myself. Not when that smart is out there. So if you guys don't know what commander I'm talking about for the British, it's smart right here. Uh, that being said, I think that's everything in the update, guys. Holy cow, that was a much longer video than I wanted to do, but a lot of commanders in here, right? So had to kind of showcase them for you guys. Maybe not a separate commander video on this one since I kind of went more in depth in these than I thought I was going to. Again, none of these commanders are awful. I don't think any of them are really much game breaking or really insanely good other than Andre Lip, depending on the person, Michael Latier. Um, and like I said, these new ones, all decent, but I don't think they're crazy. I think these might get overhyped more than maybe what they are. Anyway, guys, you have a wonderful day. I will see you folks next time.